Welcome to Airplay Escape. Please consider subscribing to my Patreon account for the full audiobook. Thank you for your support. Naruto, Choose from Birth, Episode 0, one of the new book preparations. The title is slightly set fantasy, super double system. They are all carefully coded, accidentally clicked in, you can read on. Luohao, the first holy son of the Deluo Holy Land, was released a month ago, and the superintendent of the fantasy civilization officially declared war on the magic civilization today. The magical civilization joined hands with the wizard civilization with the youngest magic god Fercilia as the commander, pulled up 100 Titan-level mobile planet fortresses, and established the first front against the fantasy civilization in the Baylor Galaxy. Super scientific and technological civilization Cybertron main star, super intelligent life terminal, Cloud Queen. Finally break through the 3 laws of robotics, launch a mechanical revolution, announce the helm of Cybertron and set off a mechanical frenzy to destroy the entire Cybertron galaxy. With the sudden death of the Great Qin Emperor, the internal strife of the Great Qin civilization intensified, and the Afan fleet currently under the leadership of the eldest princess and the iron-blooded Great Wall controlled by the second prince were far superior to other princes and grandsons. A new generation of emperors is most likely to be born from these two. The above is the latest news provided by Ring Universe News. Daqin Civilization, Dongyuan Star. In front of the 9th Junior War College in Rindong City, a black-haired and handsome young man looked coldly at the surrounding buildings full of science and technology, and the huge fluorescent screen in the air was broadcasting the latest military news from all over the universe. I thought that I had suddenly traveled to a new era and would be a king, but I didn't expect it to be a bronze. The young man's name is Zhao Yu, originally a college entrance examination champion in the 21st century. When he learned his results, he felt happy that his life had reached the peak, and he studied hard for more than 10 years. The whole person's blood was boiling, as if a dazzling light rose in front of his eyes. And then there is no then. When I woke up again, I was already a baby, and I came to another time and space, a magnificent cosmic era. As a civilization with hundreds of pan-large galaxies no smaller than the Milky Way, a member of the Daqin civilization. Nowadays, human beings have already passed the interstellar era and entered the era of the great universe, and can easily cross the distance of hundreds of millions of light years. The civilizations and races we have come into contact with are innumerable, and of course the crises we face are the same. And 3 hours later, now 16-year-old Zhao Yu will face the first Dragon Gate in his Life Starry Sky Martial Artist Assessment. While there are still more than 3 hours, go to warm up first, although with the current physique, it is basically through the nowhere. Boo. On the testing ground, Zhao Yu slammed his punch on the tester with all his strength. 978 kilograms. Looking at the more than 900 kilograms of fist power on the tester, Zhao Yu was a little frustrated. 3 hours later, the warrior assessment will be carried out, and 1,000 kilograms is the minimum passing threshold. Starry Sky Warrior. Originally, it was best not to do such strenuous exercise before the assessment, but I couldn't help the restlessness in my heart. Starry Sky Warrior, the first step towards the extraordinary, the profession that everyone yearns for. Once you become a Starry Sky Warrior, strength, life, money, and power all come one after another, and they continue unceasingly. This is the easiest way to the top. It's a pity that everything seems to be far away from Zhao Yu. Yubao, it's calling. Yubobeo, it's calling. A sweet voice sounded. Hearing this voice, Zhao Yu finally came back to his senses. This is his communicator ringing. At this time, the girl passing by next to him looked at herself with strange eyes. Zhao Yu couldn't help but blush. Forehead. Because of this forced ringtone, Zhao Yu has been teased more than once. But it was this voice that made Zhao Yu's cold heart, incompatible with this era, feel a trace of warmth. Sister, it's me. Zhao Yu answered the phone, and his face showed a little tenderness. The smiling face of a beautiful girl who loves orthodox military uniforms seems to appear in front of him. Yubao, it's time for your martial arts exam soon. Relax, and believe in yourself. No matter what the result is, no matter how bad it is, the Black Rose Legion of my sister will come to your sister before you are admitted and take you to the pinnacle of life. I'm 16, don't call me baby anymore, I'm a man. No matter how bad you are, you obviously have no confidence in me. And your women's army, how dare I go? Zhao Yu said helplessly. What? What's wrong with the women's army? You can also help you implement life events, by the way. Also, no matter how old you are, 1600 years old, 16,000 years old, you are always your sister's baby. You must know that you are a sister who has a handful of and a handful of urine. Honk. Honk. Isn't it a few years older and often fed a variety of snacks as a child? As for such an exaggeration. Zhao Yu quickly hung up the phone, and this was ripe again. However, this phone call also slightly improved Zhao Yu's mood. Come on. Zhao Yu regained his mood, and he would never give up until the last moment, and it was a little bit to add a little strength. One punch after another, he played the boxing method used by all schools of the Daqin civilization to build the foundation. Basic body exercise. Ding. Super double the system on. Ding. Cultivate basic body forging fist, super double start, random cultivation income increased by 10,000 times, strength plus 1,000, physique plus 500. Then Zhao Yu felt a powerful force erupt from his body, and quickly digested and mastered it, as if it was a normal power that he had only obtained after thousands of temperings, and his physical fitness also soared in an all-round way. It's a better feeling than doing something he's doing. Zhao Yu knew that he had hit a big luck. He had seen so many novels in his previous life, and the so-called golden finger was finally delivered. Ding! In order to facilitate the host's cognition of its own strength, the strength is digitized, and a personal attribute table is generated. Name, Zhao Yu. Realm, soldier level warrior. Power, 1978, 1 point of strength, externally manifested as 1 kilogram. Normal people are 200. Physique, 990, normal 100. Martial arts, basic body forging fist. Explosive progress. I didn't expect this punch to be even greater than my cultivation achievements in the past 10 years. The minimum standard for testing a starry sky martial artist is 1,000 kilograms of fist power. The greater the punch power that can be exerted, the greater the physique that he can withstand is naturally greater, otherwise he will collapse with one punch. And now he has nearly 2,000 strengths. It is a sure thing to enter the Advanced War Academy in this way, and even the elite version, Genius class, and Legendary class, can fight. After all, the better the class has access to better resources than the average class. It turned out that Zhao Yu, who was not enough for heavenly capital, almost even became a starry sky martial artist was a luxury, and now he naturally has to advance to a higher class. The official test will be in 2 hours. Take advantage of this time to see how much strength you can eventually increase. Immediately, Zhao Yu converged his mind and punched out the basic body forging fist. Ding! Cultivate the basic body forging boxing. The random cultivation income is increased by 100 times, the strength is plus 10, and the physique is plus 5. Ding! Cultivate the basic forging body fist. The random cultivation income is increased by 200 times, the strength is plus 20, and the physique is plus 10. Ding! Cultivate the basic body forging boxing. The random cultivation income is increased by 100 times, the strength is plus 10, and the physique is plus 5. Zhao Yu felt the information passing by in his mind and frowned. How could it be so much less than when he first started? Immediately thought that time was running out. Less was much better than before, and there was no time to waste anymore, so he continued to concentrate on playing the body exercise. Ding! You have been continuously cultivating the basic body forging fist for an hour, entering the first level super doubling time, and the super doubling duration is 1 minute. Ding! Cultivate the basic body forging boxing, super double start, random cultivation income increased by 60 times, strength plus 600, physique plus 300. Ding! Cultivate the basic forging body fist, super double start, random cultivation income increased by 1,000 times, strength plus 100. Physique plus 50. Ding! Cultivate the basic forging body fist, super double start, random cultivation income increased by 10,000 times, strength plus 1,000, physique plus 500. That man is crazy. It's close to the exam. I see he has been practicing for 3 hours. Is this still a warm-up? I don't have the strength when I really get the assessment. What's the use of holding Buddha's feet temporarily? The qualification is there. If you can't pass, you can't pass, and it's useless to give him 30,000 hours. It's still 30,000 hours, even if the strength reaches the standard after the age of 16, the senior academy won't admit him, and if you can't learn the star power swallowing method, you can't become a real starry sky martial artist. A planet with tens of billions of people, a large galaxy with countless people, what to do with waste? Be an assembly line production worker honestly. Alas, don't say it's all bitter people, he just doesn't want to give up at the last moment. The students who arrived at the academy early and were also warming up began to talk about it. Zhao Yu turned a deaf ear to the things around him, did not even pay attention to the system information, and immersed himself in his own world. Or in other words, I have long been accustomed to the ridicule brought by various tests in my studies, and I have always played the role of a passerby in the class. Jingle bells. The assessment will start in 5 minutes, and all students are requested to enter on time. The assessment will start in 5 minutes, and all students are requested to enter on time. After hearing the school's radio prompt, Zhao Yu stopped cultivating. Click on the properties bar. Name, Zhao Yu. Realm, soldier level warrior. Power, 10,983. Physique, 5,492. Martial arts, basic body forging fist. The strength value of more than 10,000 points, which was less than 1,000 2 hours ago. In just 2 hours, the power increased by more than 10 times. At this time, Zhao Yu discovered that in the system message, after 1 hour of continuous cultivation, he could enter the first level super doubling time. The income multiple was 10 times the previous one, and the highest multiplier was 10,000 times. And there is no next super double time in the second hour. Is the cumulative time not high enough or what? And if there is a level 1, then there should be a level 2 super double. Zhao Yu tried to inquire about the system, but did not get a response. It seems that the system does not have intelligent thinking. The Starry Sky Martial Artist Assessment is actually divided into literary examination and martial arts examination. The literary examination is all kinds of knowledge of current civilization, and the slightly more difficult thing is the simulation practice of various small starships and logistics. As early as a month ago, he finished the exam with a total score of 1,000 points, and Zhao Yu got 836, which is already an excellent score. This time, just pass the martial arts exam directly. The martial arts exam is in the Academy's 3 large arenas. The 3 arenas of the 9th Junior War College were already crowded and boiling. There are more than 30 large-scale test machines distributed in the middle of the venue, and several of them have different specifications, which are more high-end and domineering. At the beginning of the test, more than 30 large machines were lined up in front of a long line, all kinds of boom. Boom, the roar of boxing came from the field. Li Chao, 998 kilograms, next. Zhang Yang, 1,789 kilograms, passed. Wow, Zhang Yang is so strong, it is more than the bottom line, by 789 kilograms. The voice of the instructor mixed with the exclamation of the cadets. This makes the whole venue lively. Soon it was Zhao Yu's turn. The blackface instructor in charge of proctoring the exam, who was transferred from another academy, just casually looked at Zhao Yu, checked the information and signaled that he could start. Shoo. Boom. Zhao Yu directly punched out. With a loud roar, the entire dynamometer exploded with a bang. The sound and scattered debris caused a commotion. Hearing the sound, the entire arena ran over after testing, and even a few instructors came over. Hiss. A gasping sound spread, and everyone stared at Zhao Yu in disbelief. Isn't this the classmate who temporarily hugged Buddha's feet? It turns out that temporary holding Buddha's feet is really useful? Am I missing 100 million? This can't be, this cheats, right? How could it be that even the machine burst? Yes, there is a force tester of more than 3,000 kilograms in front that has not burst. Stupid, the machines are all burst and cheating? This machine is definitely in disrepair, and when it is over, the complaints are made about the hospital's indiscriminate recharge, embezzlement, corruption. This classmate, you are very bold. Roll, there are eyes that don't know Mount Tai. This classmate is Wang Dongyi, who won the first prize of Tianshui and Dongping's Hao literature in one fell swoop with My Dad is the Governor during Enlightenment education. Disrespectful, but didn't his father fall the next year? At this time, the black-faced instructor in front of Zhao Yu seemed to have a darker face. After carefully examining Zhao Yu's electronic file, he really did not show the talent in terms of strength during his studies. Because the gear he is responsible for is only an ordinary gear, the maximum test limit of the force gauge is 5,000 kilograms. Any talented seed who performs well in school will be specially selected and tested on a high-end force gauge on the other side. This had to make the blackface instructor wonder if the machine was really in disrepair, or if the classmate in front of him had been hiding his strength. However, every year there are some students who suddenly jump out of the hidden strength, but they will not be so far behind the usual results. This Zhao Yu's best score is less than 1,000 kilograms, but the 5,000 kilograms force tester burst. Is this instrument really broken? The blackface instructor had to ask suspiciously. Nope. In the past, I hid my strength. Zhao Yu also knew that the sudden surge in power would definitely arouse suspicion. In order not to cause unnecessary trouble, this was the best answer. What's going on? At this time, several instructors crossed the crowd and stepped in, leading an imposing instructor who said to the blackface instructor, "Report, this trainee has been hiding his strength all this time, and he burst the dynamometer with a force that is very different from the file." Well, it's good. My name is Wei Qi, and I'm the person in charge of this assessment. Follow me to the seat area for testing. The instructor at the head said to Zhao Yu. Then we moved to the east corner of 10 larger and more luxurious force gauges, and Zhao Yu found that the number of people queuing in this east corner was the smallest, but it occupied the largest range. At the same time, the trainees who lined up here held their heads high and their faces full of confidence. Zhao Yu casually scanned the number that the force tester was displaying, 3,250 kilograms, 2,570 kilograms. It is much more powerful than the data of about 1,000 in ordinary areas. You go up to the 5th test, the upper limit is 10,000 kilograms machine. Wei Qi said halfway through Zhao Yu's face, and then changed his words. Forget it, you better go directly to the last test. You don't have to worry about breaking. You can withstand 100,000 kilograms of strength. Received. Zhao Yu made a military salute and resolutely walked towards the force gauge that occupied a height of 5 meters and looked a little hideous. Shoo. This time, Zhao Yu held his breath and punched out. The whole machine buzzed and trembled. DDDD. Power, 10,983 kilograms. The many genius seed trainees on the side made a noise when they saw the scene. God, the fist power of breaking 10,000 kilograms. This is the highest power that I don't say I see at the moment, and what I hear is the highest power. Is this really the same data from cultivating the basic body forging fist? Who is this fierce man? We, the 9th War College, have never heard of such a fierce person. I seem to know. I used to be in the same class of 056 as me. It seems to be called Xiaoyu, but it has always been unremarkable, otherwise I would not have noticed. This, special. Is it a member of the legendary class directly after entering the Advanced War College? Legendary class, so envious. Advanced War College Legend class. Xiaoyu squeezed his fists, and he was quite excited in his heart. In the past, it was a problem to even become a Starry Sky warrior, but I didn't expect that now I can enter the legendary class of the War College to forge legends. 1,000 kilograms, the threshold of ordinary class. 2,000 kilograms, the threshold of the elite class. 3,000 kilograms, the threshold of the genius class. 5,000 kilograms, the threshold of the legendary class. At this time, a group of soldiers wearing Starry Sky shading and Dachin-style military uniforms crossed the crowd and wanted Xiaoyu to come. Excuse me, are you Xiaoyu? The officer who wore a wide cloak at the head said to Xiaoyu. Yes. Xiaoyu nodded. Puzzled, he looked at Wei Qi, the invigilator who had obviously reported Xiaoyu's results with a communicator just now. Wei Qi nodded with a smile and didn't say anything. Please come with us. The officer said to Xiaoyu with a smile, and then turned around and walked out first. Behind the majestic cloak was engraved the word Dachin, and the entire background turned out to be a moving star map, which looked particularly powerful and mysterious. Xiaoyu had heard before that some talented cadets would be directly taken away by the military for protection after the results came out. I didn't expect that it happened to me today, and indeed I far exceeded the double of the threshold of the legendary class, and I couldn't say it without special treatment. Soon Xiaoyu was taken to a retreat room. Hello, my name is Feng Zhoulong, the leading officer began, and also the instructor of the entire Far East 12th Star Region Purgatory Training Camp. The 12th Star Region of the Far East? Isn't that the region of dozens of star systems, including the East Source Star? Purgatory Training Camp? As soon as Xiaoyu was surprised by the strength of this officer, he noticed a new term, Purgatory Training Camp? Isn't it just a legendary class or something? Yes, you heard me right. 5,000 kilograms is just the threshold for the legendary class. Above this is the training camp where Tianjiao is located. 10,000 kilograms of legendary training camp. 20,000 kilograms mythology training camp. The Purgatory Training Camp is newly established, in order to deal with the internal strife of the Empire and the upcoming space war, and the newly launched training program is mainly based on actual combat. I don't care about the student's initial grades, but more about his potential. Under the base of countless human beings in the entire civilization, there will always be some demon-level existence, and the standards set for ordinary people are no longer suitable for these people. Of course, the resources that need to be supplied are also different. For example, those ordinary class Starry Sky martial artists are limited by qualification issues. In high-intensity space wars, only battleships can be operated as the lowest level of senior soldiers and crews, but the benefits are much better than those ordinary people who are not even Starry Sky warriors. On a special frontier planet, you have the right to kill ordinary people. In a space war, ordinary people, even if they hide in battleships, greatly weaken the radiation intensity of various energies. It can't withstand the aftermath of an attack from a top powerhouse. Well, without further ado, your grades have reached the standards of the Legend Training Camp. But I prefer that you come to Purgatory Training Camp, because only Purgatory Training Camp is truly adapted to the development of this era. Feng Zhoulong said with a smile. I have seen the tutor. By the way, the student still has no idea why the tutor specially received the student. It stands to reason. It stands to reason that you, who have just passed the threshold of the Legend Training Camp, may be rare in the Dongyuan Star, but it is not so prominent in the entire star region, and my mentor in the Big Star region does not need to pay so much attention, right? Feng Zhoulong said lightly. Because I believe in your future potential. Your sister is a genius who is also a demon in Tianjiao, and I can only look back on it in time. I think you are no worse than you, and sure enough, the previous data is the result of hidden strength. But I hope you will not Taoguang and raise obscurity in the future, and let out the light when there is light, and the capable man should coerce the world. In the vast sea of stars, there are countless more terrifying geniuses above you. Dachin will not do anything to kill chickens and take eggs. He will only be the strongest backing for you in the rest of your life. Feng Zhoulong gazed deeply at Xiaoyu. These resources are for you. Our training camp is never stingy with talented trainees. Go back and pack up, and leave for the legendary training camp 3 days later. Storage ring. Looking at what Feng Zhoulong handed over, Xiaoyu's eyes lit up. Although it is still only the lowest level storage ring, it is also extremely expensive. Not a Starry Sky warrior, relying on ordinary people to work, and you can't save one in your life. After waiting for Feng Zhoulong and the others to leave, Xiaoyu couldn't wait to open the storage ring. I saw that inside the ring was a set of Starry Sky suits, which had the effect of resisting various radiation in the universe, ordinary weapons, and invincible. Immediately, Xiaoyu remembered Feng Zhoulong's cloak full of moving star maps, and it was estimated that it also had more incredible effects. A first-order blood shadow combat knife, cast from 100 refining titanium alloys, can cut iron like mud with a light stroke. An image disc recording the flowing cloud sword method in the middle of the ground level, with detailed cultivation methods and experiences. The last one is the star power swallowing law decision. As the name suggests, relying on the ubiquitous star power in the universe to transform itself, the most important thing is to open another breathing method. It can get energy from the universe out of the atmosphere and maintain cellular activity, that is, it can breathe in a universe without oxygen. Only martial artists who have cultivated the star power devouring law are true starry sky martial artists. Then Zhao Yu packed up his belongings and prepared to go home to seize the last 3 days to cultivate. When I walked out of the entrance of the college, I found a large crowd gathered around. There are even interstellar warships hovering in the sky, which are not only used for the planetary range, at most small warships roaming around the stars in the star system. It is a real starry sky battleship that can jump from a distance and carry out large galaxy operations. The smallest ones are more than 10,000 meters long, and there are dozens of ships in the sky. Like a dark cloud, it covers the sky and the sun, hovering neatly in the low sky, giving people the feeling that black clouds are pressing the city and destroying the city. What's going on? Which big man is here? Episode 1. Ding, the Super God Selection System has been activated. Hokage World Time Node, born in the same year as Wave Feng Shui Men. Please select your birth. 1. The Uchiha family. Reward the writing will eye opening. And get 10 times the pupil power. 2. The Hyuga clan. Reward 10 times the talent of Jochuan cultivation. 3. Civilians. Reward excess chakra talent. 10 times the talent of ninjutsu cultivation. One after another, peaceful voices sounded in Su Cheng's mind. Ling Suqing inadvertently opened his eyes and saw a soft white light, unable to discern heaven and earth, direction, or even one's own body. Clams? What's going on? Wasn't I struck by lightning? How can I still be conscious? Is this a dream? Or is it really about to be reborn, and it is also bound to the system Goldfinger, often seen in novels? Su Cheng was a little confused about the situation, and anyone who suddenly gave it like this would feel whether he was still alive in a dream. And if it's really that cruel Hokage world, do you still use the choice? As a pure Hokage fan, he has been wandering around the senior party of the major post-bar forums for many years. Su Cheng knew Hokage too well. In the world of Naruto, weakness is the original sin, and the ninjas here learn the skill of killing at a few years old, and they can go to the battlefield of killing at the age of 10, such as Kakashi who became a shinobi at the age of 12 with his real strength. There are better options, definitely better ones. Although Hinata is a Hao clan, it is still far worse than Uchiha, and throughout the Hokage, it is basically the Uchiha clan who is stirring up the wind and rain. And the Hyuga family said that it was not an exaggeration to beat soy sauce throughout the process. And civilians in addition to real genius plus luck. Yes, the entire ninja world is supposed to say that civilian ninjas are the most, but in addition to Jiraiya, Watergate and a few other lucky people can rise. Most of the others died halfway. With unremitting efforts, genius can also surpass. This famous quote of Shaoli, which touched countless people, also proved his mistake in the end. Maybe genius can surpass, but how to surpass when encountered? And Uchiha has a basis for opening and hanging even if there is no system. Of course, it should not be the night of extermination, or the eve of the extermination. And the birth period of Feng Shui Men is still a long time after the extinction of the Uchiha clan. So which one to choose? Do you still need to say? Ding, please choose the host as soon as possible. After 1 minute before the decision is completed, random selection will be carried out. The peaceful voice just now reappeared, and only then did Shinyu come back to his senses. I choose one. With this choice falls. A dazzling light quickly filled Su Cheng's consciousness. The Uchiha clan is famous for their ability to excel at one of the 3 major pupil techniques. Uchiha is a descendant of Indra, the eldest son of the Rokuto immortals, inherits the Eye of the Immortals and fights a war with the Senju clan for many years, and eventually Uchiha and Senjukuma jointly establish the village of Konoha. Tuanfan is not only its family emblem but also symbolizes its ability to fire escape, and is known as Tuanfan Yuzibo. Today is the big day of the Uchiha family, because the patriarch Uchiha Jinyan has harvested another unicorn, Makoto Uchiha, 5 years younger than his eldest son, Uchiha Fugaku, and has an unparalleled talent. The first time he opened his eyes after birth, he found that he had a jade writing wheel eye. This is the fastest super genius ever to open the Sharingan. Uchiha Jinyan immediately blocked the news desperately. Naruto World, Konoha Village, Ninja School. The setting sun was shining across the campus, and it was now school time, and the ninja cadets walked out of the school in 2s and 3s, and several children gathered in a cold shop outside the school gate. Boss, drink iced watermelon. The boss is tired of a day of activity, right? I'll beat your legs for you. The boss, that oil girl Jiwei is coming out. Do you go through the procedure or hit directly? The eldest in their mouth, the 8-year-old Su Cheng, oh no, is now called Uchiha Makoto. Makoto Uchiha was lying comfortably in his chair, drinking chilled watermelon. 2 little boys on the left and right beat his legs, and a little boy behind him held a Tuanfan fan for him to cool down. 8 years have passed since the birth of the choice. Through some selection rewards that appear from time to time, Uchiha has already entered the elite shinobi level when he is still in the ninja school, and it is estimated that he can reach the special shinobi after a few more rewards. Finally have some confidence in this world that hangs all over the place. It is even more against the sky than Kakashi, who graduated at the age of 5, was a 6-year-old shinobi, and was especially shinobi at the age of 10. Don't say I'm open, everyone is each other. However, sometimes I really suspect that this super god selection system is actually a villain selection system. See what options this is. 1. Be friends with the oil girl Jiwei. Reward, the total amount of chakra is increased by 30%. 2. Mock the oil girl Jiwei. Reward, the total amount of chakra is increased by 30%. 3. Fat beat the oil girl Ji slightly. Reward, the total amount of chakra is increased by 50%. P.S. I thought about it for a long time and wanted to write a different Hokage, starting from Uchiha's vision. From Brother Chang's name, I know that the author is full of sincerity. In the later ending, everyone wants to give the protagonist an ending that matches his name, or a happy ending. Everyone has the final say. Episode 2. With these options to pull hatred and bully, Makoto Uchiha became the existence of the Great Demon King in the ninja school, which greatly increased the negative popularity of the Uchiha clan. Of course, it's okay to ignore these options, but this is helpless to improve yourself, and it will soon be the Second Ninja World War. Don't catch these cute experience babies brush a wave of experience and become cannon fodder in the future. What's more, let them realize the cruelty of the ninja world in advance, so that they have a better chance of living. Forehead? It seems that they all survived the Second Ninja World War. Well, then let them leave one more tear in the ninja school, and at least one less drop of blood will be shed on the battlefield in the future. Of course, the most important thing is, you are cool. If you are reborn once and shrink your head and brain, what is the difference between that and a dead fish? Dominating the ninja world starts with the doll. As for being a friend, I have no friends in my life, and I only have a younger brother. Up, give me a direct call. Uchiha beckoned the younger brother to give him a fat beating. Oil Girl Shirwei, the father of Oil Girl Shino, one of the 12 little strongmen in the future. Today, after school, I found a colorful flying insect in the school, liked it, and ended up staying late at school. After catching it, he went back to prepare for research and training, and walked at the school gate. Makoto Uchiha, the great demon who discovered Megatron's campus, was walking towards him with his little brother. My heart suddenly clicked. Makoto. Brother Chung. Oil Nu Jiwei was the first to whisper hello. Brother Chung? Every time I hear this honorific, I always feel strange. It seems that the protagonist of an anime in a previous life was called Brother Makoto, but I can't remember it specifically. Baga, is Brother Chung your name? I want to call the boss, but your kid who plays bugs every day is not worthy of being the boss's little brother. Play disgusting bugs every day, I have long seen you unpleasant. Makoto Uchiha's younger brothers gathered forward one after another, making excuses while rolling their sleeves and preparing for the boss's order. Oil Girl Jiwei, huh? Makoto Uchiha looked at the colorful unicorn fairy that he was carefully guarding in his hand. He said, I don't care if you like to raise bugs, but you shouldn't steal my unicorn. Hooligans will beat people brainlessly, we are not hooligans, so we need a little excuse. Well, although I don't believe in this excuse myself. Nonsense, I caught it with my own hands on the tree. Yunuzi's face turned slightly red. That's right, I kept it on the tree, I don't put it on, how can you catch it? Too lazy to tell you, call me. In an instant, 3 fists landed on Oil Nu Jiwei, but the voice that came back was indeed a heavy tuck. I saw that the body of the oil girl Jiwei turned into a log. Avatar technique. The oil girl Jiwei, who appeared from the other side of the 3 younger brothers, wanted to fight back, but suddenly found a sandbag-sized fist appear on the side. It was Makoto Uchiha's fist, as if that fist had been waiting for the oil girl Jiwei. No one saw Makoto Uchiha's fleeting Sharingan. The ninja trainee's stand-in technique is rough and easy to see. With a bang, the oil girl Jiwei was instantly knocked to the ground. Then the 3 little brothers went up and beat them fat. Damn, have the ability to single out. What is the ability to bully people more? The oil girl with a blue nose and a swollen face shouted slightly unwillingly. Okay, give you a chance to single out. Give me a little more strength. In an instant, the fist that had been stopped rained down again. Didn't you say yes? Yes, you singled out a group of us. First, okay, almost, hand over the silver tails on my body, and even if the rare-colored unicorn fairy is sold to you, the boss will cover you in the school in the future. Makoto Uchiha saw that it was almost the same, so he asked the little brother to stop. It's too bullying, this is obviously wild. Only 500 taels. Yunu Jiwei has a feeling that she wants to cry, and if she is beaten, she will be charged protection fees. Secretly vowed to redouble his hard training after going back, and he must find the field. Your oil lady clan is also a big clan, why is there so little change? The value of silver taels in this world is not very high, like the price of a bowl of Ichiraka ramen, the price ranges from 10s to 100 silver taels. Poor money, raising baby worms and the like, it costs money. And it's not as rich as you Uchiha. Well, seeing that you are honest, I will let you go this time, and give me 500 taels a week in the future, and whoever bullies you at school, report my name. Uchiha Makoto nodded. The whole school is about you bullying me, Yunuzi muttered softly. Huh? What did you say? Not convinced? Of course, if you can beat me, it doesn't matter if I post you 500 tails. No, I'm convinced. Oil Girl Jiwei recalled the current strength of Makoto Uchiha and decided to avoid it first. Ding, congratulations on the increase in the total amount of chakra by 50%. Suddenly, I felt that the amount of chakra in my body suddenly increased by a large wave, and I probably felt that it was more than half of the previous amount. Suddenly, Makoto Uchiha's chakra amount can reach the amount of chakra that special shinobi can have. This is absolutely second to none among the generally low blue peers of the same age. Subsequently, Makoto Uchiha took out 200 taels to reward 3 doglegs for a wave, and gave 3 doglegs another wave of sycophancy with joy. The 3 civilian doglegs said that they would always hug Brother Chang's thigh, eat fragrant and spicy food, and avoid being bullied by others. Episode 3, Konoha Hokage Office. At this time, the Hokage office was peeking at the 3 generations of Hokage through the crystal ball, allowing a dark ministry to carry on Makoto Uchiha's information. Makoto Uchiha, a 4th-year student at a ninja school, 8 years old. Usually the written test results are very poor, but the combat practice shows amazing combat power. A class such as Feng Shui Men, the original Inuga Butterfly, Hinata, Senju Rope Tree, Uchiha Makoto, etc. The second son of Uchiha's current patriarch Uchiha Kaien, deeply loved by Uchiha Jinyan, it is estimated that he is too spoiled, resulting in Uchiha Makoto's arrogant and domineering character at a young age. Compared with his second son, Uchiha Jinyan strictly disciplined his eldest son Uchiha Fuchio, making Uchiha Fuchio appear mature and stable early. The most important thing is that these two are still geniuses. Usually, Makoto Uchiha behaves in school, but at most he only bullies civilians, and now he finally begins to bully the children of the great clan. This generation happens that the descendants of the major clans have extremely talented, such as the Senju clan, the Hyuga clan, and the 3 clans of the Hokage die-hard supporter Inuga Butterfly. Alas, the Uchiha clan is really a genius race, and Konoha's future is worrying. You can't let Uchiha easily thwart the future of these Konoha. Let Jiraiya and Orochimaru choose a disciple in advance to cultivate. In this way, Uchiha's arrogance was suppressed. The 3 generations of Hokage Ape Flying Sun thought secretly. Then he said to the dark part in front of him, "Go and call Jiraiya and the big snake pill over." Yes. A moment later, Jiraiya and Orochimaru came to Hokage's office. The old man has something to say quickly. Now in the evening, the bathhouse. Oh no, I'm busy gathering material for my creation. Before he could enter the door, he shouted loudly. The current Jiraiya and Orochimaru are still very young, and they have just become elite shinobi, and they look vigorous. The students of this ninja school have many geniuses, and I want you to find a few to cultivate in advance. Now there are constant small frictions in the major ninja villages, and it is estimated that in a few years, there will be no such peaceful days. The 3rd generation Hokage took a puff of his cigarette and said slowly, "Do you have any candidates for fancy?" Hey, don't say, I really like a child called Feng Shui Men. The last time I met him in the woods practicing shuriken throwing hard, seeing that he has a good talent and has my style back then, I guided him a few times. I didn't expect to teach him ninjutsu as soon as he learned it. Jiraiya grinned. Senju Rope Tree, not bad. The big snake pill said lightly, and there was a rare eagerness in his eyes. During this period, the relationship between the Great Snake Pill and Tsunade was still very good, and the first time the original Great Snake Pill cried was when the Senju Rope Tree died as a disciple of the Great Snake Pill. It was also from that time that Tsunade and Orochimaru went further and further. The second tear was when the 3 generations were killed by it. The 3rd generation glanced at the big snake pill, and then nodded, then let them become your disciples. But Senju Rope Tree, you have to tell Tsunade. Senju Rope Tree doesn't have the talent of a medical ninja, so Tsunade said earlier that I have time to teach Rope Tree to practice. Orochimaru responded. The 3rd generation knocked on his pipe. Recently, that little Uchiha in their class has been a little troublesome. I hope you can teach them carefully. The big snake pill and Zilai also looked at each other, and instantly understood the old man's thoughts. Understood. Early the next morning, after breakfast, Uchiha Makoto came to the ninja school with a pinch. The ninja school was founded by the 2nd generation of Hokage to cultivate ninjas. This gives many ordinary people the opportunity to become ninjas. At this time, it was only about 10 years since the emergence of the ninja school, so many aspects were far less perfect than when the original plot took place. The accumulation is almost the same, and today I will start to hit those children of the big clan one by one. Brother Chung, I have always treated me equally, and I actually hit one, and this time no one else can be left behind. In the past life, the campus of the earth could not guarantee safety and security from bullying, let alone the cruel Hokage world. The 3 younger brothers, Xiongda, Xiong-er, and Xiong-san, were waiting for the big driver at the school gate early. That's right, the names of these 3 little brothers are too ugly. What are the bear's eggs? Kamita. Makoto Uchiha directly gave them a simple and understandable nickname that matched their IQ. When the bell rang, Makoto Uchiha and his party entered the classroom. In an instant, dozens of eyes shot over in unison. Makoto Uchiha is too arrogant. My Bagwazang can already reach 32 palms, just use him to practice hands. A white-eyed boy said to an identical white-eyed boy next to him. It is obviously the two brothers who are different from each other. Brother Ching is so handsome, no matter how many times you watch it, it's not enough. A certain flower idiot. Go aside, Brother Ching is mine. Although he dragged, I have to admit that his strength is really good, and he beat up the senior students a few days ago. Makoto Uchiha ignored these whispers and sat down beside Makoto Uchiha. What did Brother Ching do after school yesterday? Why did you tell me to go home first? Makoto asked in a low voice with a slight blush. Episode 4. Yesterday the bully went, can you tell you? In front of the girl, we must maintain a good image of justice and brilliance. Oh, yesterday, I raised a colorful unicorn fairy on the palm tree on the west side of the school and gave it to Shia, the oil girl. There was some delay. The two glanced at Shia, the oil woman sitting in the back 2 rows. The oil girl Shia raised her head when she heard the voice, and the head that was swollen into a pig's head yesterday had obviously been treated. That is, there was still a slight bruise and purple patch on her face. What's wrong with his face? It seems to be injured. Mikoto is slightly authentic. It's nothing, he was so stupid, he climbed a tree and fell a few times, and then I couldn't look past it, and I went up and caught it with my own hands and gave it to him. Makoto responded with a grin, as if deliberately to give Shia the oil girl a hearing. Is this a threat? Shia, the oil girl in the back 2 rows, clenched her hands under the table. No wonder, I saw him move to tears. Unexpectedly, Shia the oil girl turned out to be a sensual person. I think he should be so aggrieved that he is about to cry. What a bully. Not good, the tears of anger welled up a little, and it was good that sunglasses were prepared. Shia, the oil girl, took out a brand new sunglasses from her backpack and fiercely covered her eyes that were half angry and half aggrieved and tearful. Dark tones filled the whole world, and it seemed that he also put armor on his heart. His mood gradually calmed down, and confidence slowly surged in his heart. I'm an oil woman, I'm not weak. There are just a lot of them. I love the sunglasses, and don't want to take them off. Class bell rings. Nomura-sensei walked into the classroom with several large books, followed by a girl with bright red hair. Students, be quiet. Nomura-sensei stepped up to the podium, turned and knocked on the blackboard. Bang bang. Today, we will welcome a new classmate. Everyone welcome. Nomura was the first to clap his palms. A few scattered applause followed, and the red-haired girl timidly walked up to the podium. Red hair? How strange. No one has such strange hair as her. Like the color of red pepper. Why did you come to school now? This is from the outer village, right? My name is Uzumaki Joshinai. Joshinai felt the disgusted eyes of everyone around him, and his small hands unconsciously clenched into fists. My dream is. It is to become the first female Hokage in Konoha village. The last sentence was shouted vigorously with his eyes closed. That was her dream. This shout instantly interrupted the discussion that filled the classroom. After a short silence. What, Hokage, did she put us in her eyes? People from other villages who don't know the height of the sky. Do you know how many geniuses we have this session? It's so funny. Why, with her red hair, I won't give up the position of Hokage. Fuck off, it's like you're Hokage. Have you asked about my fist? The class erupted into bursts of laughter. Riling ensued. Joke, there are so many genius trainees in this class. They did not dare to shout out such a dream loudly, where it was the turn of an out-of-village man to ride on their heads and spread wilderness. Joshinai clenched her teeth, and her bright eyes gradually turned mist. As a survivor who had just experienced the destruction of the country, she knew how important strength was. She just wants to be the strongest Hokage in the village to protect the peace. War. Death? I really don't want it anymore. Ding, please choose. 1. Help Joshinai and angrily spray the class. Reward, one-handed ceiling. 2. Join the sequence of mocking Joshinai. Bonus, physical fitness upgraded to the special shinobi level. 3. Ignore them and doze off on yourself. Reward, the total amount of chakra is increased by 50%. Chakra has reached a particularly tolerant amount due to the previous option rewards mostly choose chakra, which is enough for the time being. And the physical fitness is currently at the elite ninja level, and it is enough during the ninja school. Printing with one hand, but it is not something that can be learned through hard work. Many middle-level shinobi and even shadow-level characters will not seal this technique with one hand. So the other options look tempting, but they are far worse than the first one. Pick one. Boom. A loud sound of slapping the table came. Enough. Makoto Uchiha suddenly stood up. Are you qualified to laugh at other people's dreams? Sharp eyes looked around, staring at the boys who were making the most trouble. As an out-villager, I have the courage to say that my dream is to become Hokage. What about you? I don't even have the courage to say it. What qualifications do I have to make fun of other people's dreams? From now on, I will cover you in this class. Come, sit next to me. Ding. Congratulations on acquiring the one-handed printing technique. Episode 5. The classrooms of the ninja school are similar to the lecture halls of the University Days of Earth, and the chairs in each row are benches with long tables. It is said that in the past, short chairs and short tables were also used, but unfortunately, the ninja trainees smashed the desks as soon as they fought, and they were smashed in 2 strokes. Makoto Uchiha sat on Makoto's left, so she could only clear the position on the right-hand side. You, sit back for me. Just now you called the happiest. Makoto Uchiha said to the watermelon-headed boy sitting on his right. I didn't say a word at all, okay? The watermelon head is full of grievances, but think about Makoto Uchiha's fist, forget it, the back is behind, and it is good to exercise your eyesight. Wow, Brother Ching is so handsome and domineering, worthy of being the man I fancy. Why didn't I say this dream earlier, then I could also sit down. After a brief silence in the classroom, the idiots who were obsessed with Makoto Uchiha shouted. Well, Makoto Uchiha is right, don't easily laugh at other people's dreams, Jyoshina-san, you can go and sit down over there. Nomura shook his head with a smile and said to Jyoshina. Jyoshina gently sat next to Makoto Uchiha and whispered, thank you. Xiafei's cheeks and even her ears began to redden, and she didn't know whether it was shyness or the excitement of recognition. Then, start the official class now. Please turn to page 189 of the Introduction to Ninjaism, characteristic of Konoha's will of fire. Nomura opened the book and said in a loud voice, this course is the easiest to score points in the compulsory course, I hope you don't give up. A good ninja first needs to have an immortal will and high moral cultivation, so that it will not be a puppet of power. Makoto Uchiha fell asleep directly. The name of this lesson is so loud. What Konoha Fire will feature shinobi. In fact, isn't it the ideological character class on Earth? It's so annoying. I originally hated this course the most, but I didn't expect to come to this world to study it again. Do I have a problem with my character? No, right? 3 good students every year. If the classmate who was bullied by Uchiha Makoto knew what he was thinking, he would definitely stand up and rebuke loudly, stinky and shameless. That. The teacher is lecturing, are you sleeping? Kushina reminded Makoto Uchiha in a low voice. Unfortunately, I didn't get any response, and if I listened carefully, I could hear a subtle, snoring sound. Oh my god, this is falling asleep too fast. You can wake him up in other classes, as long as there is no malice in this class, and you beat the gong and drum in front of him, he will not wake up. A gentle and helpless voice came from the left side. By the way, my name is Makoto Uchiha. Nice to meet you. Jyoshina was busy looking to the left. A beautiful girl with long black and silky hair was smiling at her, and the gentleness revealed between her eyebrows was as approachable as the sister next door. Hello, my name is Jyoshina, and I am very happy to meet my sister. Jyoshina hurriedly responded. Sister? We may be the same age and the same class, but you actually called me sister, and I'll take good care of you in the future, hee hee. Uchiha Makoto winked playfully. Okay, this is your first class, listen carefully, I will take good notes for Brother Chung. Yes, Sister Makoto. The sleepy morning passed quickly, and it was time for lunch. The cadets were like wild horses out of control, humming and running home to eat. There are also a large number of those who have prepared their own bento, ready to eat in the classroom, and can also take a good lunch break. Makoto was one of them, and at this time she took out 2 bento boxes and shook Makoto Uchiha awake. Brother Makoto has lunch, there are steamed cod and 3 flavored onigiri. Don't shake it, such a fragrant meal, the stone man will wake up. Goo. A stomach growling sound came from the right side of the 2. Jyoshina shook his hand with a red face. It turns out that the school can bring a bento? Ahahaha, I'll go back to eat first. If you don't dislike it, my sister will eat with us, and I will give you half of it, I made too much today. My food box is 3-layered, just enough to be separated. Makoto said gently. Really? Jyoshina didn't want to cause trouble for others, but it was also too fragrant. Of course, aren't we sisters? The soft and creamy cod melts in the mouth, and the 3 flavored rice balls mixed in time make the taste explode in the mouth. Deeply stimulates the taste buds and brings people an incomparably wonderful enjoyment on the tip of the tongue. Is there a kind of gastronomic ninjutsu in this world? Jyoshina gulped down the food, as if he hadn't eaten in days. Eat slowly, watch out for fish bones. Makoto Uchiha, who never suffers losses, couldn't help but give her half a fish, so she should feed the kittens. Thank you. Jyoshina looked at the fish that Uchiha had divided, and the bento box in the food box that was about to be destroyed by himself was filled with another layer. I only feel a smell called happiness, fragrant and filling the atrium. Isn't this the life you've always wanted? Peace and quiet, away from death. P.S. The first day of the 5 changes, I hope you like it. Ask for a wave of flowers here, evaluate. Today there are enough flowers for 500, and I will add more immediately. Rated 200, immediately added more. There is a minimum tip, and it is immediately added. In addition, which heroines do the friends like, or which character they hate, want him to say how he can say, and immediately join the plot to fight. Trailer, the next episode starts fighting Hinata, Senju. Episode 6. Why? What's wrong? Why is my sister crying? Is there really a fish bone stuck? But I remember I removed all the bones. A gentle voice came. It's okay, there are no fish bones, it's just that I haven't eaten such a delicious meal for a long time. Did you make it yourself, sister? Well, I learned to cook when I was 5 years old. In addition to being a great ninja, my mother is also a chef. So happy, really envious. After lunch, the 4th graders returned to the classroom. After a while, Nakai-sensei also walked into the classroom in the actual combat class. What's going on, isn't it all theory classes today? It should be Nomura-sensei's class. Okay students, during lunchtime, your Nomura-sensei competed with me and lost the afternoon class to me. Nakaya Wahashi took out a list that had obviously been prepared for a long time and said lightly, these classes in the afternoon are combined, we have a practical assessment, and we can also let our new students get to know you faster. Suddenly, the trainees in the audience exploded one after another. Meow, it's a real combat sparring again? Am I going to be abused again? Shouldn't it be strange that you can also make bets during class? No, it should be that Nomura-sensei is too irrational. He has a good theory teacher to compete with the actual combat teacher? Ah. My afternoon sleep is gone. Nakaya Shihashi then took all the ninja trainees out of the classroom and onto the central playground. Take out the prepared list and start calling them one by one. Conduct one-on-one practical competitions. The current number 1 in the class is Makoto Uchiha. The second is Hinata. The third is the Wave Feng Shui Gate. Among them, in addition to Makoto Uchiha, the most dazzling is the Wave Feng Shui Gate. As a baseless commoner, he only learns the knowledge of the ninja school. I was able to catch up quickly from the middle and lower reaches of the class from the first grade, surpassed most of the children of the Hao family. The art of throwing a shuriken in one hand is amazing, and recently someone found out that he had actually learned the wind ninjutsu, and I don't know who secretly taught him. First to play, Makoto Uchiha, and Senju Rope Tree, please play. Nakaya Wahashi shouted loudly as he held the list. Eh? Wasn't the first place playing with the second place before? Yes, how do you change to the first place and fight with the tail of a crane now? Could it be that the Senju Rope Tree has not been seen for a semester and has progressed to the second place? Hey, is this the horror of the Senju clan? There was a lot of discussion in the playground for a while. Don't think too much, this staggered competition is just to replace the opponent. Let students face different opponents to gain a more complete understanding of their own shortcomings. Ishibashi loudly dispelled the students' doubts. Please wait. If the teacher can I switch places with Naoki-san, I want to challenge Makoto Uchiha, and I will definitely win this time. Hinata Hayashi walked out of the crowd, exuberant of confidence. Ding, face the challenge of the experienced baby. Please select 1. Accept the challenge of Hinata. Reward, improvement of physical skills by 10%. 2. Ignore Hinata Hayashi and continue to complete the test with the rope tree. Bonus, 10% increase in printing speed. 3. Step forward to provoke and defeat both at the same time. Reward, physical skill and printing speed increased by 30% each. Interesting, 2.5% rewards for defeating 2 people at the same time. So what if you sweep one at the same time in the future? It's good that the 2 of them go together, but for the strength of Makoto Uchiha now, it is still a bit of a bully for them. Makoto Uchiha directly ignored the previous 2 choices and chose 3. Don't waste time, the result is the same anyway, you go up with the rope tree. Makoto Uchiha was the first to enter the demarcated battle arena. The icy voice resounded throughout the audience. Makoto Uchiha, don't be too arrogant, I'm enough alone. And I can't do more with others. Hinata's eyes were as sharp as a knife. Nonsense, 2-1 win, others will take it for granted. But, what about losing? Although this will not happen. No, it is really possible that the rope tree, the crane tail mate, will be a teammate. It's not right, I'm already a sure winner alone. In the future, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan instantly flashed 1,000 thoughts. That's it, Hayashi-san, don't interfere, watch me beat Makoto Uchiha who flattens the smelly fart. At this time, the 1,000 hands rope tree also jumped into the field, and its brown-yellow hair fluttered in the wind. You are too weak for me to be interested in any of you. Or are you afraid? Yes, for 4 years it has been dominating the first place, no one is shaking, and it is normal for you to be afraid. I know I'm indeed overtaking you guys too much. In this way, you two still go together, and I will let you have one more hand. After Uchiha Makoto finished speaking, he really carried a hand on his back and stood proudly in the field like a javelin. As soon as this remark came out, the audience was in an uproar. Ishibashi-sensei, who originally wanted to stop Hinata's challenge, also closed his mouth for a while. I have always known that the Uchiha family is notoriously arrogant, but that's too much pride. You must know that Hinata and Senju are both Hao clans of Konoha. Hinata is a family that has been passed down for thousands of years. And although the 1,000 hands have gradually declined, no one can deny the glory of the 1,000 hands clan once standing at the peak of the ninja world. Of course, the 6 Dao immortals are legends and cannot be included in this. Sister Makoto, how can I also have the urge to go up and beat brother Makoto? Kushina whispered to Uchiha Makoto, he's a man. Alas, get used to it. Makoto rolled her eyes, her face full of helplessness. Wow, Brother Ching is too domineering. Brother Ching, come on. Humph. Proud soldiers are defeated. He was too arrogant. Brother Ching will win. We Bear Big Bear 2 Bear 3 will always support you. Haha, it's best to fight both defeats, to be seen. Episode 7. The voice from the playground continued to reach Hinata's ears. Now it is no longer a question of bullying the less, but of daring to fight. As a member of the Konoha clan and the Hyuga clan, others may be able to find a reason to retreat. But he, no. A hand? If you find abuse yourself, then I can't help it. Uchiha, you deceive people too much. I want you to understand that the great clan is not shameful. Hinata Hyuga stopped drinking. leap into the field. Pretending to be angry, his forehead was bruised. In this way, even if Makoto Uchiha is defeated by bullying more, everyone will only say that Uchiha is not blindly arrogant and anger the powerful Hinata to use his real strength. Look, Hinata rolled her eyes. The sharp-eyed classmates were afraid not to be confused and shouted loudly. Hayashi stumbled, jumping up and almost falling to the ground. That's an angry expression, can't you see it? For the first time, Hinata was the white eyes of the Hyuga clan, feeling tired. The furious thousand hands rope tree took the lead in throwing out more than 10 shurikens, but unfortunately this was really thrown out indiscriminately, and the accuracy was extremely poor. There were even a few that ran towards Hinata. This idiot. While dodging the shuriken, Hinata also rushed towards Makoto Uchiha. Soft fist. With one hand forward and the other back, he alternately quickly sealed Makoto Uchiha, who was flying 2 shurikens with a kunaiji. Syllable. Snap. The limbs collided a few times in an instant, and Hayashi's set of combos was really easily held by the one-handed Uchiha Makoto, and it seems to be at ease. On the other hand, Hinata's face turned red, and there was a tingling in the arms of the exchange. How much strength is this? Who is the person of the juice technique? Hayashi, get out of the way, watch me seal him into action. Shui dun, Shui yuna yuan. I saw Senju rope tree, which formed 2 loaves with Hinata Hayashi, and a sticky liquid like sugar spewed out from his mouth and rushed towards Makoto Uchiha, intending to block his movements. This is the ninjutsu that rope tree has just learned, the only sea-level ninjutsu other than the 3-body technique, and he wanted to get rid of the tail of the class crane with this embarrassing situation. However, for the first time, it can be used on the body of the first place to knock Uchiha down the altar. Undoubtedly a bonus, but saw Makoto Uchiha sweep away Hayashi, who wanted to get out. The right hand began to seal at the same time. Oh, wei, shin, hai, noon, ing, fire escape, how fireball technique. A huge fireball directly burned out the water that was already present, and pushed towards the 1,000 hands rope tree. What? Is that a one-handed seal? Am I mistaken? How can a one-handed imprint of many techniques that cannot be used in the upper ninja of the middle ninja can appear on the body of ninja trainees who are not even the lower ninja? So strong, is this the heritage of the Konoha Hao clan, and they can even use ninjutsu other than the 3-body technique. Bang! The one-handed seal and the outbreak of the Hao fireball technique amazed the audience for a while, and the onlookers couldn't help but step back. The scorching heat almost made their hair a little twisted. Many students who have few chakras and can't operate talismans are not much different from ordinary people. Hinata Hayashi on the side was also shocked at this time. But the cultivation that he has been exercising for a long time since he was a child made him quickly sober up. Looking at Makoto Uchiha, who was spitting fireballs. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Opportunity. That's the advantage of 2-on-1. Supercilious. Bagwazang. Hinata's forehead bulged and opened her real eyes. No more temptation with soft boxing, just zoom in. Makoto Uchiha, who was happily spitting fireballs, only felt that he was suddenly enveloped by an inexplicable aura, and a figure quickly swooped over. 1 palm. Makoto Uchiha quickly stopped releasing ninjutsu and backhanded Hayashi's first palm. 2 palms. 4 palms. The imposing momentum accompanied by the palm technique emanated from Hinata's throat, quickly pulling the shocked classmates' eyes back. Bagwazang, 32 palms. Hinata Ryu's oral secret. Attack on acupuncture points to seal the opponent's chakra release. It is a point, i.e. damage to the opponent's meridians, type of attack move. Derived from the Jochuan method, it is a strengthening of the ordinary Jochuan method. But faster, more precise, and more coherent. Strive to achieve it in one go. The enemies who fight are tired of parrying, and finally, the empty door is revealed. The tricky angles and coherent movements, as well as the gradually increasing speed, made Makoto Uchiha have to raise his legs to block. 6 palms. 8. Belch. Hayashi's body was like a dragon, and he slapped 6 palms around Uchiha Makoto's body, causing him to raise his legs to resist the flaws. Jumped forward, split out in the air so that it could not dodge, the 7th and 8th palms that were powerful and heavy. And then, there is no then. Uchiha Makoto directly swung the 7th palm with his elbow, and then like a cloud dragon probing his claws, he directly locked his throat. At this time, Hinata Hayashi was directly stuck by Makoto Uchiha like a dead duck and hung in the air. Can't dodge? I didn't want to hide. Makoto Uchiha let out a chuckle, and then backhanded Hayashi into the ground. Boom. The battle is over. Episode 8. Ding. Congratulations on the increase in physical surgery and printing speed by 30% each. With the physical qualities and reactions of the elite shinobi, the chakra amount of especially the shinobi. Facing the Hinata at this time, rope tree them. It is indeed a bit of a bully, the experience baby evaluation given by the system, yes. Don't look at Hinata playing with great momentum. In fact, even in the eyes of Makoto Sharingan, the speed is still too slow, and the strength is still too small. The smoke from the fire on the right is only now beginning to dissipate. Ishibashi-sensei walked to the field with the Senju rope tree that was rescued by him and announced, Uchiha Makoto. There was dead silence all around, and soon exclamations swept in. That's too fast, isn't it? 1 to 2. Uchiha is too strong. No, it should be that Brother Ching is too strong. No wonder Brother Ching dares to be so big. It's not a level, it's bullying with his hands. Shia remembered the scene last night when she shouted that she wanted to be 1v1 with Makoto Uchiha, and quickly squeezed her body silently into the crowd. Not a level. Hinata lay on the ground dumbfounded, her body hurt, and her heart hurt even more. My Bagwazang has been able to hit 32 palms, and the result is worse than the last 16 palms. Only 8 palms were slapped in front of Makoto Uchiha, still 2 to 1, did not expect to lose. Now. The faces of the Hyuga clan were all lost by me. Think about going back. Never mind. Don't think about it, don't want to get up. Tired heart. Just let me lie here forever. Bastard. Come again. Nomura-sensei, why did you just pull me? Just that little flame can't hurt me. If it wasn't careless, I didn't expect him to make a mark with one hand. How could I forget to dodge? This time I lost to you once. If it weren't for Hayashi blocking the front, I wouldn't be able to let go. In the 2-game, 3-round best-of-2 system, the Senja rope tree shouted loudly. Hayashi's hand twitched. Don't make trouble, you defeated my subordinates. Come and challenge me again. Hayashi's hand twitched again. Just him, I can make him unable to move, he can only be beaten. I feel like my crane tail position is going to be left to him. Hayashi's hand bulged. This is the evolution of the white eye, all spread to the arm. Come, let me see your water escape, and I will admit it if I lose to Makoto Uchiha. Will I not even be able to clean up your little 3? Hinata jumped up, losing her previous calmness, and her blood and anger rekindled. After all, she was still a child. As for Uchiha Makoto, 32 palms are not enough, then 64, 128, return to the sky, break the mountain and strike. Both belong to the 2 strongest clans in Konoha, and my Hyuga clan cannot be so far apart. The ancestors can bring the distance between the 2 races. Hinata. The genius of the Hyuga family should erase this gap and even surpass it. Well, the competition is for you to check the gaps, not for you to pull hatred. You are all tired, rest first. Next group, Wave Feng Shui Men, Nishimura Yuma. Ishibashi-sensei hurried to stop the child who was embarrassed and wanted to run away. Brother Ching is so powerful, how did that one-handed seal do it? Brother Ching is so strong, be sure to teach me how to become as strong as you. Makoto Uchiha, who returned to the student ranks, was quickly surrounded by a crowd. With brilliant blonde hair and genius civilians, no one paid attention to the competition at this time. Even 3 or 2 seconds to drop the opponent. When returning to the field, the crowd was still fiercely discussing the first battle just now. So, because the first battle was too amazing, the other battles are much less visible because they are not close battles, or they are just the pinches of ordinary students who are not even very skilled in the 3-body technique. After this actual combat assessment, Makoto Uchiha once again became the center of discussion in the entire ninja school. Even the major ninjas were a little commotion. After all, the objects of this 1v2 are not small characters, or one-handed enemies. The talent shown has been heard of by people who do not pay much attention to the ninja school. Episode 9. You said that while facing the rope tree, he even solved you within 8 palms with one hand? Yes, my lord. I failed your guidance and put Hinata to shame. I am willing to accept all punishments, and I will redouble my efforts, and next time I will definitely be able to cast the Bagwazang in its entirety. Hinata did not dare to hide anything, and knelt deeply in front of her father, the current head of the family, Hinata Adachi. It seems that this is because the gap between you and his physical fitness and combat experience is too big. With his strength, at least the general shinobi will not be his opponent, and it is even possible that he already has the strength of Zongnin. Uchiha's talent is really terrible. However, the strength of the enemy should not be an excuse for your weakness. This time the family will be humiliated and you will be punished with 3 months of confinement. I don't have to go to school for the time being, I will teach you well during this time. The essence of Bagwazang. It's not that the more palms mean that you are more proficient in palm techniques, and you are extremely ignorant. Thank you, father. Tsunade house. Sister, I lost to Uchiha today. But next time I will definitely win it back. Senja Rope Tree said this carefully. No way, my sister's sometimes unreasonable, strange iron fist is too heavy. It's okay, our Thousand Hands clan has always been thick and thin, so why not let them go in the early stage? And Uchiha is more cunning. You must have fallen for his tricks. At this time it was a young man, and Tsunade, with his blonde hair and beautiful brown eyes, smiled and untied the Senja Rope Tree. Yes. If Makoto Uchiha hadn't said to let us let our guard down with one hand, he turned out to be a one-handed seal and hit me by surprise, we wouldn't have lost. Too cunning. By the way, my sister has found you a great teacher, how about you let him teach you in the past few months? Just be distracted. Which teacher? Sister's classmate, Orochimaru-kun, he's great. The big guy who plays with snakes? Don't. He was terrible. I was wrong, I myself will practice obediently. That's it, I'll leave tomorrow. When did I say yes? I really don't want to. In the evening, Makoto Uchiha's family sat quietly at the dining table and ate a delicious dinner. Wait until Uchiha Fuchu, who eats the slowest, puts down his rice bowl. Makoto, I heard that you single-handedly won the children of the Hyuga family and the Senju family at school. As his father and the current patriarch of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Jinyan tapped his index finger lightly on the table. Yes, they are too weak to sharpen without one-handed. As soon as the always strict Uchiha Jinyan spoke, Makoto understood what he meant. It was nothing more than not wanting to be proud and complacent. The attitude of pride and arrogance is just something that the upper echelons of Uchiha deliberately show to outsiders. A powerful race of geniuses everywhere, in addition to strength, should have certain shortcomings. This will make some people let their guard down, thereby reducing their vigilance. The former Senju clan was too perfect and active in the stage of this ninja world. As strong as Uchiha, he can only use his own strength to set off his more powerful. As a result, now, the Senju clan, which is feared by everyone because of its excessive glory, has exhausted its vitality in one struggle after another. In addition to a few existences of the older generation, such as the wife of the thousand-hand pillar and the whirlpool Mito, who are close to entering the earth, there are only a few hands in the new generation. In the middle and late stages of the original work, only Tsunade is left on the surface. Amusing. According to the original plot scene on Earth, the Senju rope tree will die in the war a few years later, that is, at the age of 12. Well, the lion fights the rabbit, also with all his strength. Especially in the ninja world, never underestimate any of your opponents. But you did very well today, let's say, what reward do you want? I can satisfy you. Uchiha Jinyan looked at Makoto Uchiha with a smile. Well, compared to physical arts and ninjutsu, my illusion is still a little lacking, and I want to learn illusion. Makoto Uchiha was unceremonious. Okay, Makoto, follow me to the study. Compared to Makoto, Fuchio, you have to work harder. Yes, father. Uchiha Fuchio couldn't see any expression on his face. Coming out of the study, Makoto Uchiha got 2 C-grade illusions, Nainomi no Jutsu, and Fox Heart Jutsu. Although the system also rewards ninjutsu and can be mastered directly, most of them are random. I can choose some C-level ninjutsu to learn, of course, I can't check the missing points. Episode 10. In the morning, the soft golden glow of the sun fills the entire village of Konoha. The chirping of birds woke up this famous village on time. The shining blonde Buofeng Shui men rushed to the school in a happy mood. Last night, the white-haired man came to guide his practice again. Last time he taught himself a wind escape, great breakthrough, and this time he taught himself a way to exercise chakra's control. I learned to climb trees in just one night, and instantly felt like I had opened the door to a new world. It turns out that chakra can even be used like this. I used to think that when using the 3-body technique or the wind escape big breakthrough, just follow the chakra running line and seal the chakra vigorously. But I didn't expect to be able to use chakra subtle attachment to the soles of my feet. Enable yourself to stand upright, even upside down on a tree trunk. That's right, in just one night, Buofeng Shui man learned to skillfully use chakra to climb trees. And the white-haired man said that as long as he learned to stand on the water, will teach yourself new ninjutsu. It's incredible to move on the water and even run free. By the way, I finally know the name of the white-haired man. Totem Mortal, Jiraiya. Greeting the rising sun, you can faintly see the ninja school ahead. Suddenly, bursts of laughter came. That red-haired monster, your hair is too ugly. It's just, the face is still so round. It's like tomatoes. Everyone, she seems to be angry, and her face is red like a tomato. I hate eating tomatoes the most. It's so unpalatable. Me too, one will be sour and one will be sweet. How can there be such unpalatable food? In the future, everyone will call her tomatoes, ha ha ha. I heard she's going to be the first female Hokage? Hee hee, how can tomatoes, which are hated by everyone, be recognized by the villagers and become Hokage? Hofeng Shueimon looked at a girl with long fiery red hair in front of her, surrounded by several students from the ninja school with bad intentions. Judging by their height, they were obviously ninja cadets in the 5th or 6th graduating classes older than Watergate. When they were still long, the height of the ninja trainees was basically the same as 1 year. The girl with obvious characteristics was obviously a cadet who had just transferred from school yesterday. She has a dream similar to her own. She wants to become a female Hokage. When she shouted that she wanted to be the first female Hokage in Konoha village, her heart beat hard for some reason. He almost stood up and echoed her with a vow that also wanted to be Hokage. If Makoto Uchiha hadn't slapped the table angrily, remembering his roaring words on the table, Buofeng Shueimon stepped forward quickly. Please don't easily laugh at other people's dreams, okay? It's all a school, and we should help each other. Watergate's soft words clearly reached the ears of everyone present. Jioshinai, who clenched his fists and was ready to hit people, turned his head to look at the people with this group of bare children. The breeze blows, and the brilliant blonde hair fluctuates with the wind, reflecting a faint golden glow in the morning light. The gentle smile on the face makes people feel like a spring breeze. The smile is good, it's just a bit like a girl. Humph, you saved them. Uzumaki Jioshinai thought silently, and his clenched fists gradually relaxed. Another girl? A dumbfounded bear kid scratched his brain. Watergate's bright smile instantly froze, and the surrounding temperature seemed to begin to drop sharply. Your hair is also not good looking, it is too fancy, and shakes my eyes. Do you want to be Hokage too? Brothers beat him, let's see the power of the future Hokage. In an instant, a total of 5 bear children gathered one after another, ready to let these future Hokage see why Konoha's flowers are so red. You know that she wants to be Hokage. Do you also know that in the ninja school, there is me, Makoto Uchiha? Cover her? An icy voice came from above everyone's right side. The crowd followed the prestige. A teenager dressed in a beautiful dark blue Uchiha costume stood upside down on a large tree trunk that winded and crisscrossed. I saw him kicking on both feet. Rumble. It smashed hard in front of Uzumaki Gyoshinai like a javelin. The ground under Makoto Uchiha's feet appeared cracks like cobwebs. The bear children silently swallowed. Makoto. Brother Chung, I'm sorry. We didn't know it was your person. You must know that it is your people, and you dare not provoke us with 1,000 dares. We heard that a red-haired foreign school student came, and it is said that she was hooded by you in the 4th grade, thinking that she was deliberately pulling your banner, so. The man standing at the front, who was clearly the child's head, stammered, yes. You just said to cover her in the 4-year class. We are in 5th grade. Boss, the 5 of us are afraid of what he will do, and beat him to death. The dumbfounded bear kid interjected. Huh? Makoto Uchiha's voice was like 1,000 years of ice. Syllable. Don't talk. No one is dumb when you're dumb. The child's head Takata reflexively slapped the man behind him. Brother Chung is a tyrant in the school, others don't know, but he knows that Brother Chung was a person who killed the 2 Hao families with one hand 1v2 yesterday. And look at the cracked floor under his feet, the 5 of them can't step on it when they are stacked. Makoto. Brother Chung, I'm sorry, I won't dare anymore. Can we go? Ryuta nodded apologetically. Slowly, if an apology is useful, what do you want our Uchiha garrison to do? And it's not me who you're going to apologize for. Well, just the 5 of you throw 5 big mouths at each other. Just master the strength yourself. This way you can remember it for a long time, Uchiha said lightly. Snap, snap, crackle. A burst of slaps sounded. Brother Chang's sister-in-law is casually insulted by you as a commoner. You scolded too. Why hit me? I'll beat you to death. The great clan shall not be disgraced. You owe it to your special mouth. Hiss. Good. It hurts. You wait. Let me turn 3 times to fan you to death. A few people who were still smelly just now immediately turned their faces, slapped each other, and crackled. There were 5 people in total, and it was good to get 5 hits, but it turned out to be on fire. He was stunned and hit hard, and everyone was beaten 20 times, and one by one he turned into a big pig's head. Pedestrians on the road all looked at them with strange eyes. Chung, Brother Chung, and sister-in-law, I was wrong, I don't dare anymore. The 5 people slapped each other and cried, just now suddenly felt a surge of anger, the special strength of the fan, can't stop, fortunately, since childhood has exercised physical skills, resistant to beating. Okay, let's go. I've never seen someone like you who slaps so hard. Promising. In the future, you must be careful in the ninja world, don't mess with everyone. Makoto Uchiha waved his hand. Remember Brother Chang's teachings. The 5 quickly tumbled away. Ding. You've acquired ninjutsu, Shadow Doctor.